belts. Blockbusters. You are listening to the Triple B podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to the Triple B podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters. I'm Ryan.
I'm Tim.
And this is our show where we drink on some bourbon, we talk about wrestling, and we cover all sorts of different things that have to do with blockbusters. Movies, shows.
Hell yeah, man.
We're back, episode 22.
Coming at you now.
Man. We have our bourbon today. This was my cash-in. We kind of changed up the way we're going about doing this. We are actually going to be posting the unveiling of the bourbon itself now every time, similar to what we do with the cocktail, on our social media, on TikTok, Instagram, all that. So we won't be actually unveiling it on the show anymore, but we'll already have it ready and set up to go. So
hell yeah.
Today we're rocking the Old Forester 1920 Prohibition style bourbon. It says on the bottle, during Prohibition, Old Forester was bottled as medicinal whiskey at 117 West Main Street under Kentucky Permit Number 3. The typical barrel proof at that time prior to bottling was 115 proof, which is what this is.
Wow.
This is 115 proof. It's 57.5% alcohol per volume. And yeah, it says it's the first bottled bourbon is what Old Forester is.
Wow.
So, cool.
Cool.
That's exciting.
Where'd you get it at?
I got it at Safeway. I got it this morning. It is the regular tag price was $79.99. It was on sale for $20 off, so it's $59.99.
Nice.
So it was, probably about $75 or so after the liquor tax and all that for Washington. But yeah, so not crazy, but definitely not bottom.
Yeah,
definitely not bottom shelf. So yeah. Let's
get right into it.
Let's get our taste buds going on this bad boy. Cheers.
Cheers. Man, that packs a punch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right in the kisser. Right.
Right in the You're crying, Tim.
Right
You're almost
away.
crying.
Whew. You talked about the wasabi effect on the last one. This one is.
Yeah, that cleared the sinuses pretty good.
Cleared.
Damn, yeah. That's quite the bite for 9:45 a.m. We're human. It's a weekend. We all have lives. Me and my wife have stuff that we got to get done today, so we are filming this as a morning episode. Oddly enough, both the morning episodes we've done have not been cocktails, and they have been the actual bourbon. We should plan that better. But yeah, so damn.
You can taste the 115 proof.
Yes, you can. That is for sure. All right, Tim. What are you going with here?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Oh shit!
I don't hate it, and I know that's a low score, but it packs a punch. So hopefully it gets a little easier to sip on. Yeah, but like I said, my sinuses are clear right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What about yourself?
I'm not gonna go that low. I'm gonna go 6.5.
Okay.
It is, and I do think that our meters are off a little bit because it is before 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But I think the flavor of it is good. I think it actually has a pretty good flavor. You can definitely, it is definitely 115 proof. You can definitely tell it, like you said, it packs that punch. But it like you said, really gets you right in the kisser. But yeah, it's not my favorite, but I could definitely drink it.
I kind of get like it almost has like a fireball taste to it. It got that like cinnamon flavor, I feel like.
I could get that in the burn.
Yeah.
I could get that. I don't necessarily have the flavor of like the cinnamon, but I definitely I see what you're saying with like almost a cinnamon burn.
Yeah.
Within the whiskey, I definitely understand why it was bottled as medicinal.
Yeah.
Because
I had some congestion this morning. It's
I'm
gone.
healed. I'm healed. I'm good to go. All right. Moving right along.
We got our socials. You can find us on Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok at Trip B Pod, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. We are the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters. And you can get our Gmail at triplebpod619@gmail.com.
Hell yeah, brother. Hit us up there if you guys need or want anything. Football, dude. We're in a interesting point in this season. We're 4-4. We lost to the Bills last weekend pretty heftily, 31-10. And this could be argued, but I don't feel like the game actually was as, like, it didn't feel as big of a difference as the final score ended up being to me, because we just had so many idiotic situations that played out for us that had very little to do with Buffalo.
That's true.
We had the ball inside the 5-yard line 3 times, and we came away with 3 points. Like, we have a snap go over our quarterback's head, which is a fucking peewee football situation. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You have our guard step on our quarterback's foot and cause him to go down on 4th and goal from the fucking 2. Like, both of those two plays were from the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
Both of those. Right? And they ended drives.
Agreed.
And then the other time was that our second drive, I think we went down and kicked a field goal from inside. So it was just like a lot of stupid stuff happening, and not taking anything away from the Bills. Buffalo is a fucking team to be reckoned with for sure. Like, they're playing like the best team in the AFC right now, with, like, obviously KC's undefeated, but they've looked like shit.
Yeah, their offense is like nothing.
Yeah, they have looked terrible for the most part through these first 6, 7 games, whatever, 8 games, whatever.
Yeah,
they are right now, 7-0, 8-0. But they have not looked good. Mm-hmm. They've just have looked less bad than their opponent in the game, I guess, if that makes sense. Right?
I mean, their defense really carries them.
Yeah, their defense carries them. But, like, Buffalo truly looks like a well-rounded, full team in the AFC right now. So, we're sitting 4-4. The Rams are 4-4. The Niners are 4-4. Cardinals are 4-4. Niners are 4-4. Rams are 3-4. Mm-hmm. So, it's a dead heat right now for the NFC West. I don't think anybody expected our division to look this way.
Yeah. No, I figured Niners on top.
Yeah, and Niners would be like maybe a 1 or 2 loss team right now, but they're tied with us and the Rams, obviously. Or God, I keep saying the Rams, Cardinals, because no one expects the Cardinals to be good.
No, I think they're the surprise.
Yes, they are definitely the surprise. But yeah, and then we got the Rams tomorrow at home, which scares me, because we have played fucking awful at home for years now, actually. It's been a long time since we've had that same home field advantage that we used to carry.
And the
Rams, I don't know. What are you thinking?
Always come to play. So, the Bills game, it was a tough one to watch. There's been like a handful of games where I'm just like, why am I still watching this? It was just, to your point, I think you're right. Like, to not take away anything from the Bills, we were our worst enemy that game. It wasn't just crazy drops, or it was just stupid little mistakes that could have put us into the game.
Outside of our run defense. Because our rushing defense is still not good. We're still giving up like 100 rush yards a game at least. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, it's like, most of these recent games, we've lost 4 of the last 5 games now, and most of them have been us fucking ourselves over. Like, a lot of them have been us just with boneheaded penalties, stupid mistakes, like just all sorts of shit, where it's like, if we put things together like we did against Atlanta, we're a good fucking football team. Yeah, but we're not consistent we're like extremely far from consistent.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So
it was definitely hard to see a really good high going against Atlanta. Like they're pretty solid team overall, and this last week they got a win, and it was an impressive win.
Yeah, absolutely.
To then fall like this, it's consistency. I think is 100% right. So. 100% agree with you. I'm worried about the Rams. They're a tough team.
I hate the Rams. I legitimately hate them. I hate Sean McVay. And I hate them because they're typically better than us.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily better than us as a team, but they
game plan us very well.
Us
yes.
So often. So I am intrigued to see what McDonald and Grubb and Durd can come up with, but
I gotta say that I'm gonna be patient for. I'm not like I think it's very telling. All those fans, internet people saying trade DK away. It was glaringly we totally missed him this last week. Like it was
and
huge
we're gonna miss him
without
tomorrow because he's out again.
Yeah, so
he was already downgraded to out, so that's said and done. So Metcalf's not playing tomorrow. But yeah, our offense is completely different without him on the field.
Yeah. But
because no one else that we have draws that attention.
Exactly. So I'm not on board with the fire McDonald already.
Not at all. Like people that are saying that are fucking idiots. I think we got set up with the 3-0 start to then crash back down to earth.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's where it is like as a fan base, we have to like reset our expectations to what they were before the season started. Mm-hmm. With it doesn't matter how this season goes. Honestly, because nobody, not a single person before this season started expected us to start the way we did, or expected us to win more than 5 games, or expected us to make the playoffs, or be in a dead heat for the division, or anything like that, right? So, like, nobody expected that. The expectation was we're rebuilding, and we have a brand new coaching staff and schemes and all that stuff. It takes time to play out. That stuff doesn't happen overnight. So I think it's more of as a fan base, we also need to do a little bit of introspective thinking and reset our expectations to, we have a lot of shit that we need to work on.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stuff that needs to get fixed, and that's not just going to happen, from 1 week to the other.
Yeah.
It can't. So
I'm
I'm back to however the season goes. I'm expecting a big jump next year.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a lot of good ground.
Yeah. We have a foundation.
A foundation, yeah. And so excited. I mean, I'm still excited for this season because we are in a dead heat. And
anything could fucking happen.
Anything can happen, exactly. And we're still injury riddled. We can still get pieces together and have some resemblance of the first 3 weeks. So only could be up from here, right? So I'm excited for the season still.
Me too.
This is exactly how I felt it was going to be. It was going to be tough week in and week out. It always is.
Woo! Fuck!
Yeah, so I'm on board with it. We shouldn't get too hasty out there, Seattle fans.
No, I agree. Or Seattle players.
Yeah.
Fucking your team. Figure it out. That brings us to belts. Timmy, what do you want to talk about?
Well, first, before we get into talking points, I got to say it was a little rough week in wrestling for a go home week to Crown Jewel this week. It's not to say it was bad. It just we've had better weeks. So that said, I want to talk about the Triple Threat #1 Contenders tag match.
Yep, I had that too.
Had a lot going on in it. It was a really good match.
Yeah.
We had some interference, of course. And I guess my first question is, what are we doing with Xavier Woods and Kofi?
I know.
I was liking where Kofi was making questionable decisions in the tag match and kind of proving Xavier right, but now it's Xavier making dumb things, doing exactly what he was preaching against. And so it doesn't seem like there's any direction. What are you thinking on that?
No, I agree. And now that it's like the whole Final Testament thing has moved on to The Miz, and there's obviously an angle with the Wyatt Six and stuff now there. It's like, stop with this fucking friction and just let them be the New Day, and just keep doing New Day stuff, because that's what needs to be going on. I totally agree. It's very confusing now at this point, where it's like, what are we doing? Why now are we still pushing this seed that was planted fucking months ago? Like, it feels like it was back to WrestleMania, like, it's crazy that nothing has actually happened from it, and nothing has changed because of it, but we just keep doing this weird long play, and I'm just like, oh my lord, like, it's I don't know, it's confusing, it's kind of frustrating, honestly, because it's just like, just stop with this bullshit and just let them be the New Day. Let them be the tag team. Keep going as a tag team and stop this weird tension.
No, I agree. I like that Chad Gable interfered in this match against Rey Mysterio. I think the American Made is a really solid team. I'm excited for them, but they haven't had any real success, and I think Rey Mysterio is that perfect person who's a big enough name, and I feel like this is where they're going to get a big win over LWO or Chad Gable over Rey Mysterio. It's going to be a solid match, and Chad Gable gets that signature win that I think they need to kind of promote this group. And then lastly, I think just kind of going back to the Xavier and Kofi, I think if we are going to proceed with the drama, I think it would have been better for them to win this match. I'm excited for the War Raiders winning. It's a new tag team going for the tag titles, but I think we could have got more drama with Kofi and Xavier, maybe more direction, like they go for the tag titles and lose again, and that's where, if they're gonna pull the trigger on them, that would be fitting to me.
No, I totally agree. Like, if you're gonna do it, then fucking do it.
Follow through. They're not
stop doing this super long, drawn out tease to either to just not have it happen, or to just continue to do this weird continuance. That's like festering thing. I don't know. But I totally agree. It's interesting that both the two tag teams that debuted or re-debuted on both of the respective brands on the same week that those debuts happened, both won the number one contendership match that they were immediately put into. And I will be honestly shocked if they don't put if they don't take the tag titles off of Judgment Day.
No, I agree. 100%
like, I will be
agree.
shocked, because like it's been a useless title run. It's done literally nothing.
You can almost forget they exist.
Yeah, exactly. So, which kind of brings me back to, I don't know if it was last week or the week before that I mentioned it. I would love to see a unification of the titles and just have it be one fucking set of titles like the women's are. Because for that exact reason, it's like, you forget about it. And if there's only one title where all of the tag teams across the company are going for, that makes it more interesting.
Agreed.
Like, then you can set up these fucking kind of dope, like, we'll get to it in a little bit on predictions, but the Fatal 4-Way women's match tomorrow or tonight at Crown Jewel. Right? Like, that's a cool thing. Like, you got an NXT group, you got a Raw group, a SmackDown group going for the title. Like, that's a cool situation that they have. Which, shout out to the women's division for that, because that's fucking awesome. But yeah, I feel like it's just kind of having the two separate titles. It's kind of turns it more into a joke. Kind of, not a joke. Maybe it's not the best word for it, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it sets it up to not be taken as seriously.
Agreed. 100% agree.
But I did think it was interesting that it was like Motor City Machine Guns debut, get the number one contendership, and win the titles. And now we get the War Raiders debut, win a match to get into the qualifying tournament, win a match to get into the triple threat number one contender match, and win the number one contender match. And like we said, we'll be shocked if they don't win the titles.
Agreed.
So it'll be both teams that debuted the same week will end up being almost immediately becoming champions, which is cool. I'm good with that. Like we said, it's new teams and everything. So
I think it's like they creative woke up and was like, oh shit, both set of tag champs are in storylines that really can't defend these tag titles.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're like, we got to get them off.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk about. Oh shit. Maybe I need to wait on this. I don't know. That's just gonna. No, I'm gonna say it. It has to do with the bloodline.
Okay.
But it's really Sami Zayn's part in this. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I think they're like building. It's weird because I feel like they're like mirror imaging a lot of similarities with stuff that's happening on SmackDown. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like this is a very similar path that it was going on with like KO and Cody.
Oh yeah.
And now and Randy and that now, right? Where it's like Sammy now feels betrayed because Jay's realigning with his brother who put him through stuff. And I don't know. I don't like it. It feels recycled because that exact same thing just happened and it's still the fallout of it is taking place currently on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh my God, like if you're going to bring Sammy into this, then bring Sammy into it the right way.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to have Sammy be a part of the storyline, which I don't think is necessary with the amount of bloodline members that you could bring in. But if you're going to bring Sammy in, then Sammy should have... I'm getting ahead of myself because we're going to talk about it, but
Yeah.
Sammy should have been there on Friday. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Like, but so to have the whole interaction with him and like the Usos see him talking to Solo, like I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what are we building to here? So
I agree. I feel like this week feels off because I don't think they really filmed SmackDown last night. I think it was like a double tape, and so
they did.
It
Yes.
definitely feels off
because
they have to get to
Indy Hartwell was released yesterday.
Yeah.
And she was in a match on SmackDown last night. So
yes, exactly.
Yeah, it was pre-taped because
Yeah.
I think it was taped before they went to Saudi because I don't think that was in Saudi. I don't
No.
think SmackDown was in Saudi.
No.
So yeah,
The only thing that has me intrigued is just the closing shot of Sammy talking to Solo, and it was probably just to calm things down, but it adds a little quirk to it that we don't know where Sammy will lie. But to your point, they got enough bloodline members where we don't need.
I know
Sammy
we don't need
into
Sammy
it.
involved in this and that. I think like we just with the KO storyline and stuff that drug all three KO, Cody, and Orton out of the Bloodline saga.
Yeah.
That was perfect. They did it so well. But now you're throwing the Sammy angle in, which feels like now it's dragging Sammy into the Bloodline saga. And it's unnecessary.
And he's contradicting himself because he's like, Jay, you don't need to do this. You got yourself out. You're your own guy now. You don't need to go back to the bloodline. But now Sammy's getting involved with the bloodline.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I put that on there because I was just like, I don't like it. I really don't like it.
I really didn't like that Sammy wasn't on SmackDown. Like it was Raw. Then you have this bloodline moment on SmackDown, which we'll get into, and then but no Sammy.
Yeah,
like
it's just weird.
anything.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like bring him in or don't, but don't have this weird in between.
Yeah.
Weird shit. So, all right, what else do you got?
All right. Well, I got Judgment Day business, mainly going into the main event of Raw, Dom versus Priest.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed with Priest being the mystery opponent.
Same. We talked about this on the show where I was like, we don't want that.
Exactly.
We've seen that so many. It literally could have been anyone else, and it would have been better.
And I think they tried to like lower the blow by just telling us right out the gate of who the opponent was versus waiting for Dom to be in the ring and then Damian Priest is. So I think they try to lower the blow with them being nonchalant about it. But
you know how they really could have lowered the blow? By not having it be fucking Damian Priest.
Yeah.
You could have had anybody else.
100%.
And it would have been better.
But two things that were interesting I thought about this was Finn Balor's like interactions with Judgment Day earlier in the night. Like he seemed kind of annoyed by them and off put. Is this where we're seeing more of Judgment Day
tension?
He
straight up walked away in the middle of the backstage segment.
Yeah. And
which was definitely weird. Like it was uncomfortable. Like you're watching and you're just like, wait, what the fuck? But then it was like nobody acknowledged that he even did that.
Yeah.
So it was just like, what's going on? Yeah,
and
for sure.
So I'm intrigued by that. we get Finn Balor separate from Judgment Day. And then I thought I did not see Dominic winning, Dirty Dom winning this match by your favorite way possible, roll-up pin.
Roll-up pin. Yeah.
But the beatdown afterwards was kind of great. Like, the weapon usage is getting a little more violent in WWE recently.
Yes, I would agree.
They're like throwing chairs in people's faces now, which has been like a no-no. I know it wasn't like a swinging hit in the face, but Jay like threw a chair into Jacob Fatu's face, and the chair shots are pretty vicious, like on the back. And so it was a pretty cool closing. But is this the end of Priest dealing with Judgment Day, or is this just reigniting it more? It was very confusing of where this is going with that. Again, they could have fixed this by not putting Priest in that match.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like, like you said to start this, for go-home shows, it feels like we had a lot more. Like, I feel like go-home shows usually just like build the tension towards the PLE.
Yeah.
Right? But I feel like this week it just created more chaos and unknown outside of what's going to happen at Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah.
I mean, I guess Survivor Series is right around the corner, so
that's true,
so you got to start building towards that. But yeah, no, it didn't feel like a go-home show to Crown Jewel.
All right. One thing I wanted to just point out was the backstage segment with Randy and Cody before their tag match on SmackDown last night.
Okay.
There was an interesting moment that continues to, like, seeds are already planted. Mm-hmm. They have sown the seeds. They've watered them. Shit's starting to actually grow, I think. But you had that moment where Cody says, hey, when you're done with KO, leave a little for me. And Randy says, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if there's going to be anything left after I'm done with him. And Cody says, oh, well, that's the case. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then Orton, like, Cody bends back down to keep lacing up his boots, and Orton just kind of looks at the championship belt yet again in a longingly way and says, I'm sure you'll think of something. Smacks him on the shoulder and walks out. It was just like, dude, this right here might be one of the best builds.
Yeah.
Because this is happening. There's no way that they're going through all of everything, all of the little tiny Easter eggs that they have planted, purposefully put in there to not have this culminate with Randy and Cody. Wherever that lies, I don't know.
Yeah.
But because it's looking more and more like we might end up with KO Cody 2, potentially at Survivor Series, we're eventually going to get Cody versus Orton for the title.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's just, I loved it. I love this whole angle they got going on with Orton and KO and Cody, and there's just constant tension going on, like, you can tell. So I think that's one of the more brighter spots of this week.
Oh yeah,
is their whole interactions and everything. So
I'll just build off that because I had Randy on here, and I like the KO video again. Just personalized phone, and it was a little weird him saying, I didn't want to do this, Randy. I didn't want to fight you, but you kind of did. I mean, you beat him up in the back. What is Randy Orton going to do after that?
But what I do like about it is KO is still coming at this from, he's not a heel.
Yes.
Did I say Randy? I was like KO, right? Yeah. KO's coming from this as he's not a heel, and everyone else is against him, and everyone turned on him and betrayed him because Orton punched him.
Yeah.
Right?
True. And
so like, you have that angle of KO's, like, we see the heel turn has happened, but KO doesn't see or feel that he has gone heel because he feels like he is just standing his ground and doing what is right.
Yeah.
And everyone else is the heels because they all betrayed him and stabbed him in the back and blah, blah, blah. So I actually kind of like that angle that he's spinning there.
Yeah.
So
no, the way you put it, that does make sense. Yeah. My other note about this is I feel like I'm shitting on the shows this week. So,
okay.
but
hey, we're fans. That's our prerogative. We're allowed to do that.
I haven't said a lot of bad things about anything going on since we started this podcast. But I guess I did not.
Fucking Adam Pearce.
The way Triple H built KO up, saying he's not right in the head right now. You got to watch out for yourself, Randy. I thought the chair shot to close the end of the show was not a strong enough. I thought it should have been a stronger message. Like, if KO is really unhinged, is it just going to be a chair shot to the leg and back? And that was it.
Should have been a shot to the head.
Yeah.
Like straight up. It should have been the first actual true chair shot we've seen in fucking 15 years.
Yeah.
20 years almost. Like
something crazier.
Should have been a, oh, fuck moment. And you're right, it wasn't.
Yeah. All right. That leads me to want to talk about the Tiffy, Nia, and Liv drama to open the show.
That was my next one too. I had what I think I wrote women's crown jewel heating up.
I also got qualms about this. So
okay.
I don't like how Tiffy just flat out said to Nia, like, I might be coming after you. Like, it was just like, I get that there's been drama building up to this, but this one feels like the slow burn is welcomed. Like, we want the slow burn to the betrayal, but it was just very open. Like, I don't know who I'm going to cash in, but I'm going to cash in at Crown Jewel is basically what she said, right? So, but I did like just where it went from this, like her saying, but if I do cash in against you, Liv, does he come with it? And I need a little dirty. And how is Dom just winning at life? Do we need to all grow mullets and a
dirty
ratty
mustaches?
stash and go on from there? I'm just... Yeah. All right. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. And so I actually didn't mind her just being blunt about it because she has been shit on by Nia every week now for the last multiple times a week almost now for the last few weeks because they've been on both shows.
Yeah.
And so I actually didn't mind and by the way, I'm fucking talking to you too because you think you're above all this. You're not. Yeah. And so I kind of liked that, but then I also liked the rectifying it backstage with when she's like, did I hear you say you're gonna cash in on me? And she goes, no, I was just saying that to Liv so that she didn't think any, so that she thought she was a little more safe. That type of like, she's playing the fucking game right now, and I fucking like it. I'm digging it. But also the last thing I wanted to just really throw out on this was, you see the fucking goose egg on her forehead?
Yeah.
That was Liv dropped the briefcase on her fucking face in the ring.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. Like, I called Lindsay. I was like, Lindsay, come look at Tiffany Stratton's forehead right now. That thing is fucking huge, and it was bleeding.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh my Lord, that briefcase fucked her up. Because that was just unfortunate. Like, Liv was just like trying to get it, but it was all happening, and she hits her with it. But as she hits her with it, it slipped out of her hands, and it fucking, like, Tiffany Stratton hits the mat, and then as she's kind of doing the little bounce back up, the fucking briefcase just caught her, and I was like, oh no. The second it happened, I was like, oh fuck, that was not meant to happen. And then later I was like, oh my God, that actually fucking got her. So yeah, no, I'm that the whole Nia Jax angles have turned from being like, oh my God, what are we doing, to I'm like, I'm invested in this right now. So, yeah. And it's all on Tiffany Stratton. Like, she is the build. She is I think the focal point of this whole thing. I think she is the future of the women's division. Yeah. And they're building that, and they're writing that, and they're using that. And I think they're going to capitalize on it perfectly. And
I think so, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
My next and might be my last. Yeah. All I got left is the Bloodline Usos Reigns, all that whole thing. Is that what you got?
That's what I got.
All right. Well, I did not expect it to go the way it went last night on SmackDown.
No.
Well, I guess did you want to talk about the Raw first?
No, I mean, we talked about it. It was just the whole Sammy thing, and just kind of agreeing with you that
I didn't know if you want to talk specifically about the Usos on Raw, but
I think that was pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
it was basically build up to what happened on SmackDown.
Yeah, we knew they're good at this point, but Jimmy's still trying to get Jay in, right? And Jay's like, he kind of sets up this summit, if you will, this meeting of the original bloodline for SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously he knows that in order for them to do this and do it cohesively, he's got to get Jay and Roman on the same page.
Yeah.
So that brings us to SmackDown. And I did not. It completely caught me off guard. I did not expect it to go the way that it went, and I thought there was going to be tension. I thought we were going to go into Crown Jewel with tension. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
You had Jimmy talking to Roman getting ready to take the mic. And then Jay's music hits, Jay comes out, and he kind of just fucking lays it out for Roman. And it's like, yo.
Dude, I loved that.
Yeah, same.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, at first, I was like thinking, oh, they should really go into Crown Jewel with some tension. It would just be a little more to the story. But then the way Jay has been stepping it up way big on the mic. And
he's so fucking good.
And this,
I love it because
this promo was phenomenal.
It was fantastic. And there's parts that there have always been parts of me where I'm like, okay, the like say two words and then like and then say two words and then or I kind of sometimes been like, all right, it's a little overdone. Mm-hmm. But recently, I'm like, this is fucking working.
He's making it work.
It's working. Exactly. It's fucking building towards just the tension and just all of the, like, his emotion and everything. Like, you can really feel like it's taking over him and he's, like, having to breathe through to get the words out that he's trying to say.
Yeah.
I really liked the, I'm here for this. Let's run it back like we used to. But this time, we're equals. Mm-hmm. I'm not your gopher. I'm not your Minuteman. I'm not your right hand. Nothing. We're equals. You don't tell me what to do. Nothing like that. And I was just like, the whole time, I'm like, Roman ain't going to respond to this well.
Yeah.
He ain't going to respond to this. And what the fuck does Roman do? Yeet. I was like, what the fuck? I did not expect that at all. So, yeah, man, we get Roman fucking just... like, and then the closing of that segment, which part of me wishes that would have been the closing of the show. Honestly,
yeah, no, 100%.
Like, I feel like that was like, you could have done the Cody Orton Gunther Imperium match earlier,
yeah,
and had the KO attack and like all of that, and it would have been fine to just move on with the rest of the show. And then you should have ended with this happening, because how many times we've ended with Solo's bloodline on top?
Yeah,
it would have been poetic to have it end with Jimmy puts the fucking one up and he's standing, and it was kind of funny because he looked like a little kid. Like, he's like, and he's looking, you guys joining me? Come on. You guys joining me? Come on.
He brings the comedy relief so good.
Yes, he does. And I loved it because it was like, that easily could have been a, but it was a fuck yeah moment. Like, it was like, let's go. Is it going to happen? And then you see Jay steps up and just says, fuck it, and he puts the one up, and then you see Roman looking at both of them, and then Roman steps up and does the slow raise, and
dude,
it was, the fucking crowd went crazy.
I had chills, man.
Yeah, dude, same. I was just like, oh my god. And what I loved about this, going back to the idea of, like, we both said, like, we thought originally that, like, they should have brought tension into Crown Jewel. I actually ended up changing my idea with that, and I love that they didn't, because, and this is gonna, I think this is next, actually, is what we'll end up talking about with our predictions. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I think that's going to help continue to further build this. Mm-hmm. Them not having tension with what I think will happen at Crown Jewel. So, well, like I said, we'll talk about that in a sec. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But yeah, so I was like, all right, for everything, like you said, that I felt was kind of like, about this week, that was fucking perfect. So, yeah. Like, that was... that segment was an A+, 115%, like, perfection. I loved everything about it. So
yeah, I just, a few more things to add on it. Jay is so fucking over right now. Like,
he's a dude.
That crowd was
his crew that
on fire.
Dude, he stopped. I've never heard them just continue to sing his fucking song. I was like, oh shit, man. He is the most over member of the Samoan bloodline right now. Like, I mean, maybe ever. Honestly, like, he has everything. Mm-hmm. He has the fucking entrance that rivals The Rock's, right? With the just the music, right? Yeah. Because it's the electrifying. I didn't even mean to say that for The Rock, but that. Honest to God, that just happened organically. But it's that if you smell, and the fucking place goes crazy. Jay's ooh, so is the same fucking thing. Where like Roman's is very low energy entrance. Yeah. Like people go crazy for it because Roman's character is Roman and he has done that himself. Yeah. But like his entrance is whatever. Yeah. Right? Jimmy's is whatever. Solo's is obviously whatever. But like Jay is so fucking over right now. It's fucking great.
It's just been great to see it is hard to get yourself away from a tag team and get out of Roman's shadow, but he's done it, and it feels so good, man.
It does. It's awesome.
Again, that was awesome. I really liked later on in the night Solo's promo, where kind of like what you said with KO is he doesn't feel like he's the bad guy. He was Roman's enforcer. He was there for him whenever he needed. And then he took the mantle when Roman went home. And I thought that was a cool segment where he's just like, I'm not the bad guy. I'm just trying to carry this on. And you guys are the ones that turned on me. So I really like that angle of it all. So I'm excited to see where it goes because it just keeps us talking about it's every talking point.
It is. I don't even think it could be argued. I think it is hands down. The Bloodline is the greatest storyline ever told in the history of wrestling.
I would agree.
I mean, I don't know if there's anything ever that has been bigger than this, that has drawn more than this, and that has carried the longevity that this has. I mean, we're talking fucking like 5 years now. Yeah. Pretty close to, if not 5 years.
It's rounding to 5 now.
Yeah, so what other fucking storyline that has been consistent week in, week out for that long over wrestling history? Yeah. I don't know that there is one.
I can't think of anything.
So, yeah. So, I mean, it's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, that's what I got for...
That's what I got, too. That brings us to our banger of the week.
My banger of the week is NXT. NXT is firing on all cylinders right now. Halloween Havoc was a fucking incredible show. The weekly shows have been great. The women's division, if they maintain what's going on, we got a bright future for WWE in the women's division because it is cooking on NXT. Just every storyline, it feels great. It feels like what got me really into NXT was just like the black and gold brand where Triple H was running it, and it's coming back to that feeling, and it's must-see TV every weekend. Again, Halloween Havoc from beginning to end, every match hit. It was incredible. NXT, giving your flowers this week. You deserve it. I love it.
Yeah, man. I agree. I still don't fully watch it, but I am constantly on X. I'm on TikTok. I'm watching clips and stuff from it. So I see a lot of the stuff that happens. I see a lot of the like crazy fucking holy shit moments from the matches and stuff. No, man, NXT, like they're fucking Shawn Michaels is doing a fantastic job with NXT.
And then next week we're back in Philly at the ECW Arena, and we got Bubba Ray in a storyline with Trick. He's tagging with Trick and going against Ethan Page and Ridge Holland. Yeah. And then they're just, and RVD's got something going on with it, and Dawn Marie is a special guest referee for a women's match. So I like what they're doing on NXT.
Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. I'm going to throw a complete fucking curveball here at you, and my banger of the week is not WWE related.
All right.
My banger of the week this week, and this goes back to our childhood, is TNA Bound for Glory. The Hardy Boys won the tag titles again.
I was gonna text you about that and see. Did you see
now
that?
This was technically on Saturday last weekend, so it was a week ago. So it technically is outside of our coverage, but it was worth fucking saying because, especially for how we kind of alluded to the fact that this was kind of outside of NXT. It was kind of a down week for the two main shows. The Hardy Boys is my favorite tag team of all time. Jeff Hardy is one of my top probably 3 favorite wrestlers of all time. I know it's pretty close to the same, if not the exact same for you, or even higher potentially for you. So, like, most of my best core memories with wrestling growing up have to do with Jeff Hardy.
Exactly.
And, well, both Jeff and Matt, right? So... Yeah. To see them at this point in their careers recapture the tag gold, even in TNA, it's still just fucking dope. And that match was fucking crazy. Like, they were like Jeff and Matt, they're still hitting fucking spots that you're just like, God damn, dude, you guys should not be doing this type of shit anymore. But I mean, you get Jeff doing swantons off fucking 20-foot ladders through tables. You had Matt hitting fucking leg drop through table. Yeah, like. Matt doesn't hit the fucking leg drop anymore.
Nope.
And he's hitting fucking leg drops through table. Like, it felt very nostalgic. The whole fucking, what the fuck? The aesthetic of the match itself was like the fucking tie-dye graffiti spray paint on everything. Like the tables, the ladders, like everything had that. I don't know what the theme was. I don't know what the vibe for it was, but it looked like you were in like some like underground rave club. Yeah. Like I was like, this is fucking, but it fit Jeff. Oh, absolutely. Fucking perfectly because that's always been his paint. Yeah. So it's just like, I fucking loved it. It was awesome. And I just wanted to throw that out. Was my banger of the week is the Hardy Boys recapturing fucking tag team gold. Because it's been, I think 2016 was the last time that they held tag gold together. 2019 maybe.
No, they did hold it for a brief moment in AEW.
They did?
Yeah. It was brief.
Everything that maybe it was saying the last time they like had like a meaningful title run. Then
I think
was what
Jeff got in trouble shortly after they won the tag titles. In
I didn't
AEW.
realize they had actually won them in AEW, but still, so it was just kind of just bounce off that, like with all of the shit that Jeff has done outside of wrestling that has got himself in hot water, essentially. Like getting fired from WWE multiple times now. Yeah. He ended up just leaving AEW, but it was essentially like a firing without being fired, right? Yeah. Like they were done with him. To like rebuild to what they are now is really fucking cool to see. Yeah. So
agreed.
Yeah. That's sweet. That's my banger of the week.
I like it.
I wanted to throw that out there. Because I know the Hardys hold a special place in both our wrestling hearts. Yeah. We got Crown Jewel predictions, Timmy. This is in no specific order. This is just like the order of... I kind of put it in the order of just like what I thought was like importance of storylines. Okay. If that makes sense. Yeah. And I put, with the understanding that, like, obviously I think the Bloodline one would probably be the last one, but I put, because it's Crown Jewel, I put the 2 Crown Jewel championship matches last. Yeah. So, starting with the women's Fatal 4 tag, it's fucking...
Metaphor, Jade and Bianca.
Yes, thank you.
Damage Control, and Chelsea and Piper Niven.
Chelsea and Piper Niven. That whole thing, I was trying to... Lash and... Their Metaphor?
In NXT, they're Metaphor because they have 2 other members of their group.
I didn't know this, so that's why that was new to me. But I think
Cole called them something different last night. I can't recall. It was like the Meta
Lash
Ones
Legend
or something.
And what's
Jakari.
Jakari, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so what do you think? Predictions?
My predictions are Chelsea and Piper win.
Oh, fuck. Okay. No, I did not. That is not where I'm going, and I did not expect you to go there either. I'm gonna go Lash Legend and Jakari.
I would love for that to happen.
Because I think it would be fucking awesome, and like, what a better way to promote somebody from NXT to the main roster. I mean, even though they've kind of been, those two have been on the main roster now for a couple weeks, but I don't feel like, it still feels like they're just an NXT team that's just like in this.
Yeah.
So, but like, Lash Legend's so fucking good, dude. In that Fatal 4-Way match last night, she hit the fucking...
She was the MVP of that match.
She was, absolutely. And she hit that fucking... Her finisher, I still don't know what it's called. I still haven't heard the name of it, but she hit that finisher again on Bianca, and I'm just like... That fucking thing is dope. Yeah. It is such a cool fucking move, man. Just like the fucking back carry, torture rack, whatever the fuck you want to call it, into a fucking like face crush. It's fucking awesome. I love it.
It really
so
is.
I'm rooting for them. I think it would be awesome to see two new people with the tag titles like that. I think it's about time that we get some form of split between Jade and Bianca, because I think they both need to be in singles action like we've talked about before. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm going with them. Jakari. Lash and Jakari.
The meta ones.
Yeah, the meta ones. Wouldn't it be twos? If it's the meta fours and there's four of them and there's only two, it'd be the meta twos.
I like Team Metaphor, so I hope the other two come up with them then.
Yeah. All right, that brings us to the U.S. title triple threat match between Carmelo, Andrade, and LA Knight.
I think LA Knight's winning it.
I think LA Knight's retaining too.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's going to be a banger of a match, toasted match.
That match is going to be like, this match legitimately has the potential to steal the show because of how good all three of those guys are. So, and I do feel like it'll be the second match of the card.
I think you're right.
So I think the women's tag match will probably be later. It'll probably be me middle, because they're going to start the match with a big one. So I could see it either be... I could honestly see him starting it with Orton and Owens.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, all right, we both think LA Knight's going over there. So that brings us to the Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed match. I think Bronson Reed's winning.
Yeah,
I don't think this feud's gonna be over.
Yeah, I think Bronson Reed wins as well.
I think Bronson Reed wins this match, but Seth Rollins wins the feud.
Yeah,
because that's a great win and a great up and a great boost for Bronson Reed to get a true win over somebody the caliber of Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
But it also will help build Seth Rollins towards whatever the fuck he's going to jump to next, going towards WrestleMania and all that.
He's a beast slayer, so he got to get taken down a notch only to defeat the beast. So.
Exactly. Orton and Owens.
I think Owens wins this one.
I think he does too.
Yeah.
Because like I kind of alluded to this earlier, but I think this is going to somehow lead towards setting up an angle for round 2 between KO and Cody, where KO is not holding back his anger or his dark side against Cody, where he did in that first match, and a lot of people would say that's what cost him the match. So I think Owens is going to win this, and it's gonna bleed into potentially a later segment.
Yep.
Bloodline. We got the newly reformed OG Bloodline with the Usos and Roman Reigns going against, interestingly, and I don't know why they keep fucking doing this, but it is Solo, Tama, and Tonga with Jacob Fatu.
No, Tonga Loa is sitting out.
Everything I read about the match card was that Jacob's not in it.
I swear.
I hope it's Jacob.
I swear I took note of it.
I saw like 3 different articles when I was getting prepped for this yesterday that said that it was like, this is CBS Sports. This is one of them. Let me see real quick. It says Roman Reigns and the Usos versus the Bloodline. Reigns to take on Solo, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa in a 6-man tag team match. I mean, regardless, I guess. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's not Jacob, because
I think he has a lot of dream match caliber things, and that might be why he sits out some of these. Cause
Jacob?
Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But like I said, I saw a couple different things where I was like, is it really fucking the Tongans in Solo and not Jacob? Like, it doesn't really make sense, but it kind of does.
He is the enforcer, right?
Yeah.
So he's enforcing. So,
all right. So, what's your expectations here? What's your prediction?
I think New Bloodline wins over the OG.
I do too.
Furthering the storyline into War Games,
which is part of why I think it's not Jacob in it, because I think Jacob's going to interfere at some point.
Yeah.
And cause the craziness to happen and lead to... Yeah, because it's like, if... This is obviously leading to War Games.
Yeah.
And if Roman and the Usos win, then it's like, why the fuck would we have War Games?
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like the new bloodline has to win so that they're like, this ain't over. We got screwed, whatever. Like, we got to finish this finally inside the double cage.
Yeah.
So, that's where I see it going to.
Okay.
Women's Championship, Crown Jewel Championship match, Liv and Nia.
I think with Liv taking out Rhea on NXT this week, I think Liv wins the match.
Okay. I'm going Nia.
Okay.
I think it does more for Nia than what it would do for Liv. I don't know if Liv necessarily needs it. I think it does more for Nia to be able to win this match and continue this run that she's going on, where Liv is already like the kind of cowardly villain where like she can take an L at Crown Jewel and her storyline with Rhea is going to continue, where like Nia doesn't really have a storyline outside of what's going on with Crown Jewel right now.
Yeah.
And Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
So I feel like that could potentially continue to lead towards the build of Tiffany. So I'm going with Nia.
Okay.
And the final match is the men's Crown Jewel Championship between Cody and Gunther.
I think Gunther wins this
I'm
one.
going Gunther on it too, and I think this is that added segment I was talking about. I think KO is going to play a role in this, but
Gotcha.
yeah, I think Gunther's going to win.
Yeah.
Again, I think it does more for Gunther than it does for Cody.
Yeah.
So.
I think we got some differences in there, so we will have a different
score
off on the once again.
We were off on the tag. We were off
with the women's champs.
I guess, that's the only two that we were off on. But yeah, all right. Cool.
All right.
Belts question of the week. I posed this, and this kind of builds off of what we just talked about with Crown Jewel. I want you to take one match from the Crown Jewel card, and I want you to explain what you think the wildest / coolest outcome that you don't think would actually happen, but if it were to happen, it would just be like fucking amazing, right?
Gotcha.
So doesn't net like, because we just did our predictions, so like that's not it, obviously. So it's just like, what outcome in a match do you think would be like wildest that you would like to see, but you are assuming probably won't happen?
Gotcha. Well, I had to change my answer on the fly. Because I misinterpreted the question, and I don't think this is any wildest anymore, just because you kind of alluded to it. But I think in the women's tag team title match that Jade and Bianca do lose the tag titles, and we do get that split between Bianca and Jade, but it's Bianca betraying Jade and going heel.
I would love that. I think that would be awesome, and I think that would be good for Jade too.
Yeah,
because I think she could very easily be portrayed as a villain.
Yeah,
or
I think that's the obvious.
Yeah, and so I think that would be a good swerve, and I think that would be good for both characters too. Because like, when was the last time we saw Bianca heel?
Yeah,
if we've ever seen Bianca heel,
not in a long, since NXT, I don't believe.
Yeah,
so that's my wild swerve.
Yeah, I like that. That'd be awesome. Mine is, I'm sticking with the women's division. I'm going with the women's Crown Jewel match, and I think this would be the coolest way, and it would be unique because we've never had this happen before. Tiffany Stratton cashes in during the match, makes it a triple threat match with both titles on the line, which then in turn means there are now 3 titles on the line.
Yeah, and
Tiffany Stratton wins to become the first ever triple champ.
Yeah,
she would be the women's world champion, she would be the women's WWE champion, and she would be the first ever Crown Jewel champion. And what a fucking way that would be to usher in a new era of the women's division, with the future face of the women's division and Tiffany Stratton now being like the fucking person to just run it. Dude, she's now both champs. She's Crown Jewel champ. Like, that would be fucking, like, could you not picture Tiffy time?
Oh yeah.
And like Tiffy. What would it be like? Tiffy 3 titles or something like that, right? Like Crown Jewel around her waist with both the other 2 up on her arms. I think that would be fucking crazy, because We've never had that before. The closest we would have been Chris Jericho winning both titles in the same night.
Yeah. It would be 2 belts and a ring because they're going to leave the titles in Saudi after the match, and they're getting like Super Bowl rings for the win.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That would be wild.
Fucking stupid, but all right.
What if
I didn't know that?
What if, and this would be dumb, but it would be wild. What if Tiffy messes up her
cash in
and says, "I'm cashing in," and she's cashing in just for the crown jewel, and so that's all she wins is the crown jewel, not one of the other titles.
That would be fucking crazy too. Yeah, that would be wild.
Just be wild. I like your idea better. I want that.
I would hope that wouldn't be the case, because then that like completely crumbles Tiffany as what it would prop her up to be.
But they're playing her off as dumb, like like I should have cashed in right here on Raw.
That's why I think it would be the perfect angle for her to cash in and win all three, because it's like they've been playing her up as it's like, oh, ditzy, stupid, like Naya's little puppy dog, but now she has this fucking ultimate plan where she could win all 3 championships. Yeah. Like, that would be fucking dope.
That would be, yeah, I agree.
That brings us to Blockbusters! All right, Timmy, we had just in this last week, we had Marvel dropping a teaser video for what to expect on Disney Plus in 2025, 2026.
I think, yeah, the end of 2024 and into 2025 is what I think I saw. I think What If comes out.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. I think it comes out December, huh? But yeah, so it showed a bunch of the upcoming shows that are going to be on Disney Plus a dropped like the release date for like Deadpool and Wolverine on it also, which I didn't put on here. But yeah, so, and it also had some footage from some of the shows and whatnot that it has on there. So I put on here, excuse me, I thought the biggest takeaway was definitely Daredevil Born Again. The footage from that looks fucking amazing.
Looks incredible.
It looks so fucking good. We have Wilson Fisk as the mayor of New York City. I thought the biggest takeaway from the entire footage that we saw from Daredevil Born Again was the fact that it showed Kamala Khan's father. Yeah. Asking Matt Murdock, what kind of lawyer are you?
Yeah.
And Matt Murdock says, a really good one. And so it's like, okay, so where does Kamala Khan's father now come in? Because that's Miss Marvel's dad.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, where is that coming in? So is that, like, is she going to be potentially in this? Like, is this kind of... My mind immediately went to, like, is Daredevil potentially going to play almost like a Nick Fury role for the Young Avengers?
Oh...
That's where my mind immediately went, and I don't know if that's accurate. I have no fucking clue, but that's just where I went, and I was like, is that possible? Because that would be fucking dope. Like him and Hawkeye together kind of like lead them, or I don't know, because like Hawkeye obviously has the connections from the Hawkeye show. With Kate Bishop. So I don't know. It was just interesting to me. I thought it was I thought that was like the main thing from this whole, you know, what was it, like a 2.5 minute long teaser video or whatever.
Yeah.
Where I was like, that was fucking seemed random, but it's obviously not random. That's very purposeful that they have Kamala Khan's father in the Daredevil Born Again footage. So yeah, I thought that was a interesting little tidbit there. What about you?
No, I agree. I think definitely the biggest thing I'm looking forward to from this teaser is Daredevil. It looks incredible, and from what we've talked about before, it's going to be just as violent as the Netflix season.
If not more so.
Yeah. We saw the Punishers back and everything, so...
We got what the fuck is it? The Muse. We gotta look at the Muse, too, in it. So, who is apparently going to be the primary antagonist of this season of Daredevil, assuming that there will be more than one season.
Yeah.
Stoked for Daredevil. That comes out,
I want to say,
it's 2025, right?
Yeah.
That was 2025.
I want to say like February, March
somewhere
time, I want to say, but could be wrong on that.
We also got another live action, some footage of another one of their live action shows, and that's Wonder Man.
Yeah.
Which I cannot remember the actor's name. But
I cannot either.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah.
But it's essentially the character of Wonder Man is an actor that becomes a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the clip that you see is him auditioning for the role of Wonder Man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a meta play on it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that. We didn't get a whole lot from it, but we just saw pretty much him stepping up for the audition.
We got the fake Mandarin in it.
Yes.
I'm assuming he's playing the same role because it's an actor.
Trevor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley as Trevor. So and he was in Shang-Chi, and he was in obviously Iron Man 3. So
it'll be interesting because I don't know a lot about Wonder Man, but I was reading up on it, and the name Zemo came up because because Wonder Man's originally a villain turned superhero. So I wonder if they'll somehow get Zemo tied in from the Winter Soldier into this show.
Yeah. Next up, we have correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, if your memory serves better than mine is right now, but I think those were really the only 2 live action looks we got, weren't they?
There's Ironheart.
That's right. Fuck. I knew I was forgetting one when I put this on here. Ironheart. And that looks fucking dope.
Yeah.
With Riri Williams back in that role where she came in Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, I mean, the clips from that are essentially, it looks like you get more. She has a couple different variants of her suit.
Yeah.
And there was a Red Hood. You got a good glimpse of Red Hood, which is being played by Anthony Ramos. Mm-hmm. So it's shocking that I forgot to put that on here, and I just knew. So I just rattled off so much information off the top of my head about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, we got the live look at that, which was also cool. That was one that I've kind of forgotten about.
Yeah.
Because there's been very little information about it.
Yeah.
And we only saw her in Wakanda Forever. And then it was kind of like, oh yeah, they're going to do this, but then we haven't really heard anything else about it. So
yeah, no, I agree. I think I'm a big fan of robot tech suits in movie shows and just causing destruction and they show little bits and parts of that. I'm here for it, man.
Absolutely. And then we got a handful of the animated shows that are going to be coming out. We got Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which there wasn't a lot there. It was just two
clips.
Clips, 2 scenes, whatever
but
you want to
had
call it.
Miles Morales. It looked like
it looked like it. We got Eyes of Wakanda, which looks interesting for sure. I think the animation style of it was very intriguing. It looked really cool.
Yeah.
We got What If season 3.
Super excited for that.
Yeah, that'll be the first 2 seasons have been great. 'Cause I like the idea behind it where it's literally the show's called What If, so it's literally talking about
all these
what if this happened,
yeah.
right? And it's you have different people playing different characters and stuff so. It's pretty cool. It really dives into the multiverse of everything. And then lastly, with the animated, which may have been the most impactful, was Marvel Zombies, because you got the return of Thanos.
Yeah.
In it, you got zombie Thanos.
Yeah.
Zombos, if you will. But yeah, so just a really cool little teaser drop that Marvel put out that allowed us to get a good look at what to expect in the next 2 years on Disney Plus, and gave us a little bit of intrigue and
just excitement.
Yeah.
I thought it was a well done little teaser trail.
For sure. I liked that it started with a little bit of Daredevil footage, but then it actually jumped into Daredevil. A little bit later. So.
And then of the animated shows, I gotta say I'm most excited about the Marvel Zombies, just because that was one of my favorite episodes from the first season of What If, and I think it's been a popular episode, so it just made sense to go with that. So excited for it.
All right. Moving on, we have a little bit of an update on the Twisted Childhood universe, also known as the Pooniverse.
The Pooniverse.
Where
the
we've talked about this before. Yeah, the TCU, where we've talked about this before. We had Pooh, Blood and Honey.
1 and 2.
1 and 2, yeah. And then we've talked about how they're going to do Bambi, Peter Pan, and this one here that we got an update on is Pinocchio Unstrung. We got a couple casting updates where we have fucking crazily, we have Robert Englund and Richard Brake, who are both like staples and workhorses of the horror genre.
Yes.
Robert Englund, famously known for portraying Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. He has played Freddy Krueger in all but one live-action Nightmare on Elm Street movie, with the exception being the recent remake or reboot of it. But yeah, so and then Richard Brake is in quite a few Rob Zombie horror films with 31 and 3 from Hell, but he was also in Barbarian. And yeah, pretty wild that it's like both those two dudes are going to be in this movie. Richard Brake is playing Geppetto, who is the creator of Pinocchio. But yeah, there was also a video posted on X that showed, like, it was from like the production team posted it for this movie that showed an animatronic puppet of Pinocchio that like they will be using in like live moving and action and everything. And it was
the video
like,
was crazy, dude.
it was like almost uncomfortable because it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Like if you woke up to that in your room, I would scream like a little tiny girl and I would pee and I'd probably poop all over myself and I would die in the most humiliating fashion. That thing was fucking creepy as shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so not a ton of information about it, but that was just a little bit of updates that I wanted to throw out there since we have covered this kind of in depth now at this point. We've covered it pretty well. So they continue to add to it. What do you got?
I like just building seeing how the doll looks and how they're bringing it to life is pretty crazy. It sounds like it's the next movie filming currently, and sounds like they're going to be coming out rapid fire these next 3 movies. Because they were talking
Bambi and Peter Pan. You said are they already in post production?
Yeah, they're in post production.
And then we got this one filming. So yeah, it sounds like they're ramping these up. I mean, we had read when we originally covered it that the Pooniverse Monsters Assembled or whatever it is, like what's going to be like their Avengers type movie for this, where all these characters are going to come together, comes out in like 2026.
Yeah, it's really quick.
Or maybe it was like maybe it was late next year. I don't even remember. So it's like they're pumping these things out. So,
and it sounds like, I mean, obviously I'm sure it's going to how it plays out, but it sounds like they got ideas to continue it past this with Snow White and Cinderella as well. So
Snow White. They're gonna fucking turn the goddamn dwarfs into fucking like evil cannibals or something, aren't they? I'm sure. Fuck, man, dude, I'm stoked for this. I love it. I actually had a student who's also one of my tennis players. That would have been yesterday morning. Talked to me. She was like, "Yeah, I watched Pooh, Blood and Honey the other day," and I was like, "Really?" And like I had like a 15-minute conversation with her about that, so that was cool. But awesome. So these are out there. They're getting fucking a little bit of traction going. So I think it's
both movies out so far have made their money plus more. So
yeah, I mean, and we've talked about it. Obviously, we covered them, but it's such a unique idea to turn these childhood favorite cartoon characters into fucking horror movies. Yeah. It's brilliant. Mm-hmm. So I love it. I would love to see them do more shit like that. So
agreed.
All right. This brings us, I think this is the last of our like new news stuff for Blockbusters this week, but the movie's called Year 10. I just randomly found this and I was like, dude, this kind of falls right up our alley of stuff that we cover. And I thought the trailer for it was very unique and very intriguing because there were no words I don't know if you noticed that, like if that
I did
actually
not
like stuck out to
actually
you, but there was
until-
zero verbiage. There was no words. There was no dialogue. There was nothing. It was literally just music and scenes, which intrigued me even more. Like it captivated me to be. I was like, oh, I gotta fucking put this on. So the synopsis for this movie is 10 years after the fall of civilization, cannibalism has become the only option for humanity's dwindling survivors. When a violent tribe murders his father and steals the medicine keeping his love interest alive, our protagonist must embark on a treacherous journey battling the elements, packs of vicious wild dogs, and the cannibal group, or else lose the only thing he has left. It stars Toby Goodger, Duncan LaCroix, and Hannah Kalike Brown. And it's directed by Ben Goodger. I do not know the relation between those two. I did not look it up. I'm assuming it's father son, like father directing, the son's the star of it potentially. I don't know. Could also potentially, they might not even be fucking related. I have no idea. But to kind of just, I think, build off of what we were saying with like there was no dialogue in the trailer, I think it just kind of plays more towards like the feel of this movie and kind of just like that kind of elemental environment that they're trying to portray within it. Is when you look up the cast, it's literally like Toby Goodger plays this person, Duncan LaCroix, I believe, is the person that plays his dad. But then as it goes through, it's literally like Hannah Kalike Brown plays girl. This other person plays lover. Like, it's just like these, they're not like actual character names, they're just like descriptors almost. But that's like on IMDb. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting, but I feel like it was like it's purposeful. Yeah. You know, like I feel like that has intent and there's point behind it. So yeah, I don't know. I thought, well, what did you think about the trailer?
I thought the trailer was intense, man. It was just like, holy shit. I love post-apocalyptic movies. It's just, it's always like a, what if this happens? And then they show different variations of it in all these different movies.
Absolutely.
And I thought this was just another good twist on that. It's just, intense is the only thing I can think of, just because it's almost like Quiet Place, like, because you got dogs on the loose and you don't want to draw attention because food is scarce, and so you're trying to just be avoiding other groups of people that have come together. So I like the idea of it, and it was super, like, had no knowledge of it before reading it on the agenda today. So super excited for this one.
Yeah, I feel like I love fucking the post-apocalyptic stuff. I've always been a fan of all those types of things. But I feel like, and there's definitely other projects and other movies and series and stuff that involve the cannibalism aspect to things. But I feel like this is like one of the first ones that truly, it seems like that's kind of the centerpiece to this, where it's like the main antagonist is a group of cannibals that these people are going to be trying to run from. It's kind of what it seemed like within the trailer. Yeah. And so I was like, that's kind of new, because I don't feel like that's ever really, like, cannibalism, I don't feel like has really been a focal point in a lot of main movies. I'm sure, like I said, there have been points and there's been little emphasis here and there of it in other projects, but like for it to be kind of the front running antagonistic part to it, I thought was kind of unique. Yeah, at least to me and stuff that I've watched. So
agreed.
So yeah, I'm stoked for this. I fucked up. I didn't put a release date on here. I don't remember.
Think I saw one.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't remember it if I did see one. So not sure when it's coming out yet, but it is. They have a trailer out for it, so I'm sure it's not within the next year and a half. I assume it would be dropping. So
agreed.
All right, we got Blockbusters this week. We covered this movie over summer when before it actually dropped. I want to say it came out in like June, July, somewhere in there, because Longlegs came out later. I think Longlegs came out after this.
I think it was July.
Yeah. But it's Trap. It's M. Night Shyamalan's Trap. Starring Josh Hartnett. Like I said, we covered this on the show like specifically as its own piece before, but just a reminder of the synopsis. It's a father and a teen daughter attend a pop concert where they realize they're at the center of a dark and sinister event, which I don't think that synopsis does not do the film justice in any way, shape, or form. But yeah,
I think the movie.
Timmy, what do you think?
I think the movie. Why we put this under buzzing is because I think anything tied to M. Night Shyamalan, Shyamalama Ding Dong, carries a buzz with it, right?
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
And I think, like, I know Josh Hartnett was in a few things, but it really just feels like he just came back off of being off
he
the
wasn't,
radar
because he
for a
wasn't
while.
in a lot of stuff. Like after 30 Days a Night, I feel like was like one of his last like bigger roles, and then he was in like some indie things or some shows, but he wasn't in like any big Hollywood stuff really until the last couple of years. And I mean, honestly, I feel like the first thing I saw him in forever was Oppenheimer. It felt like so. But yeah, he's kind of made a little bit like him and Brendan Fraser at the same time have kind of been like on this resurgence of their careers in Hollywood. So it's been pretty cool. And definitely I've never seen Josh Hartnett in a role like this before. So it was pretty crazy.
I thought the movie was... I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
Me too. I really did.
I thought it was an original idea.
Yes.
It was... I thought the concert part of it would just be overplayed a little bit, but no, all the bits and pieces work together.
And there wasn't like... Yes, the first half of the movie took place at the concert, or probably first 3/4 of the movie took place at the concert, but there weren't a lot of concert scenes, which was kind of nice. Like it was kind of refreshing to like your point was it would have been easy for us to just go into it thinking, or for them to actually make it like that is the focal point of it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was all of the background stuff going on that was the focal point of it, and which made all the background stuff come to the forefront and made the concert itself the background.
Yeah.
So it was really well done in that regard, I thought.
I just thoroughly enjoy just this guy going like getting put into a corner throughout the whole movie and trying to find a way. I was rooting for Josh.
The bad guy. You're rooting for the serial killer.
I was rooting. But I think that's telling of how good the movie was. I was just like, oh, how is he going to get out of this? How is he going to get out of this? Yeah. And I don't think the twist was super crazy, but it did catch me off guard of the final twist, the Shyamalan twist that he typically puts into a movie.
Yeah.
But no, thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I purchased it after watching it on Max. I'm ready to watch it again.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, same. I really enjoyed it. It was one that we had been looking forward to all summer. Never went and saw. Finally came on Max, and I was like, dude, we got Blockbusters this week. We got to fucking watch this movie. We covered it on the show. And yeah, I thought it was very unique. I thought it was a very original spin on a, serial killer type movie, because it showed you the humanity side of it, I guess, in a way that was almost makes everything more unnerving and creepy.
For sure.
Because it's like this could literally be anybody that you know. Mm-hmm. Like Tim, you could be a fucking serial killer, and I would have no fucking idea because you're just like the nicest little teddy bear of a person, and you know what I mean. And
we're gonna have to talk after this.
But yeah, no, but like seriously though, like that's kind of the vibe that this movie put out, was just like you fucking never know people. Like, I mean, he's literally leading a double life. He is a serial killer, but he is at a pop concert with his daughter. Yeah. Right? So it's just like there's that whole double life thing there, which you see and you hear about all the fucking time. Like 90% of Dateline episodes are about somebody leading a fucking double life, really. And so it happens very regularly, but it was just like the way that this one played out was. And then, dude, shout out to fucking I forget her fucking first name, but it's M. Night Shyamalan's daughter who played the pop singer. Yeah. Lady Raven in the film, she played a much larger role in the movie than I anticipated her playing.
Yeah, no, I did not see that coming either.
She did amazing. Like, she did fucking great in it. I don't know what her other film credits are. I don't know if this is her debut in a movie. I don't know. It could be, it could not be, but either way, she did really good, and I thoroughly enjoyed like every minute of this movie.
This was one where, again, phone was down. I was into the movie from beginning to end, minus bathroom breaks. But other things I liked about it, we get another. I know he makes a cameo in all his movies, but you do see M. Night Shyamalan in the movie. You sure do. Yeah. And then the other part, which kind of makes it all the more creepier and unnerving, is it's set in today's world. Technology is everywhere.
Yeah.
Yet he's still able to have this double life. Yeah. And almost, well, I won't spoil, but, almost get away with it, right? And that's crazy. That's crazy that, there's so much technology and he can still slip under the radar.
And it definitely sets up more story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll just leave it at that. But it definitely sets up more story. So super good film. Definitely, it's on Max right now. So if you have Max, go watch it. If not, it was definitely worth the rent or the buy or whatever it is that you got to do to see it. It's definitely worth it. It's a super good movie. I think this is one of M. Night Shyamalan's better movies that he's put out in the recent years, and I've liked everything I've watched from him. Yeah. But I thought this was better than Old. I really enjoyed this movie. Josh Hartnett is a fantastic actor.
Yeah, dude.
And so.
The critics, I believe, gave it an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the fans gave it a 65. Ooh. Which I thought was surprising. I would give this again. I would give this a 93. I'm in the high 90 or sure. In the 90s. It was really good.
Yeah, there weren't a whole lot. I can't think of anything about it that I would have wanted to see different.
Yeah. I guess one part of towards the end of it, I was questioning why it was allowed, but anyway, I don't want to spoil the movie, but but other than that was the only thing that I could think weird, but no. Well done. Really enjoyed this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. I'm in the 90s. I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably give it around a low 90s, 92, 93, 94, somewhere in there also. I really enjoyed this. Mm-hmm. I thought it was, I think it was a perfect film to do for Blockbusters, honestly.
Yeah.
I really do.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. This brings us to the return of the Triple B game show. That's what I'm calling it now. The Triple B game show. I have a game for Tim, and this is a guessing game. All right. So I have chosen a movie. Tim, you are unaware of what this movie is. You have no idea. Nope. And the way this is going to work is essentially it's going to work in 10 rounds. If it takes that long, but you have 10 rounds to guess the movie, and each round I'm going to give you a one-word hint that describes the movie. Okay. So it's going to start out probably a little more, not bleak's not the word. A little more
broad.
Thank you for helping me with my words. But yeah, so first hint's going to be a little more broad. Then it'll start to kind of narrow down, and your goal is think of each hint is the hourglass running out of time, right? Yeah. Your goal is to guess the movie within those 10 hints, but you want to get it in the lowest amount of hints as possible.
Yeah. I think the best way, and you described it this way, is think of that game where you have a distorted picture and it slowly comes together and you're trying to guess way before it becomes clear.
Yes.
Yeah. So I like it.
All right. So.
Oh, God. I get nervous for these games. Got nervous. I always get nervous on the games.
All right. So your first hint.
Pizza.
It's not. Nope. Wrong. Okay. Moving on. Your first hint is best friends.
Super bad.
No. Your second hint is road trip. And no, it's not the movie Road Trip. That's not the answer. That would have been funny, but no, it's not the answer.
Hangover.
No. Your third hint is briefcase.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yes. Yep. Damn, dude, nice. In 3, that's pretty fucking solid. Nice.
that
do you
was a
want to
good-
hear the rest of my?
Yeah, I do. I was
my
gonna
hints?
ask.
So hint 4 is gonna be gloves.
Okay, yeah.
Hint 5. This is where it really starts to like. If you wouldn't have had it by 4, I would have. If you wouldn't have gotten it for these next ones, I would have been screaming at you.
Yeah.
Hint 5 is IOU.
Okay, yeah.
Hint 6 is skiing.
Okay.
Hint 7, tuxedos.
Okay.
8 is moon landing. I said one word, so I guess more like one phrase.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Hint 9 is chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
And hint 10 would have been like the home run, which is Aspen.
I like it.
All
that
right,
was,
yeah,
that
dude,
was a
you got
fun
it.
one.
Yeah, you got it in 3. That's fucking awesome.
And I guessed a movie for each one. So,
yes, you did. Yeah,
So I like that.
nice.
All
And
right.
you were like in the right vein. Like everything you said were comedies.
Yes.
Like buddy comedy movies. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was perfect.
And I think they all tied to
Awesome.
the word.
I
so
think that'll have to be a
that's got to be in our rotation.
yeah, that'll have to be
I
in
like
the
that.
rotation for it too.
I call
All right.
dibs on next round.
Awesome. I love it. All right. And to wrap it up, we got our Blockbusters question of the week. I also posed this. I framed this as fantasy time. If you could become a part of any movie, series, and or full franchise. So I put that on there, movie, series, or franchise, because it could be like an overarching like full franchise thing, or it could just be like you want to just be in one movie of franchise. Like I want to be in Revenge of the Sith, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something like that. Or you could be in the full Star Wars world.
Yeah.
Whatever. What would the movie, series, or franchise be? And what would you hope your character arc would be within that realm?
All right.
Go.
Well, I got 2 just because I think the first one you're going to roll your eyes and go, again. But
Scream?
yeah, I want to be part of the Scream franchise. I want to personally be Ghostface, but I want to be the
like
first
it.
person to get away with it and be the first recurring Ghostface in
Yeah,
another.
because we haven't had that, huh?
No, and into another film. And I think the
Yeah.
first person that was going to do it was in Scream 4. I won't tell if anyone hasn't watched that movie in the past 14 years. But yeah, no, I thought it would be really cool to be Ghostface, to be on the serial killer side of things and get away with it and get caught in the next movie. Just be... I thought that would be fun. But then, just because I was like, I say Scream for everything, and I don't want that to be the only thing that I'm known for, is being in the movie, fighting with my family, essentially being Paige's character. Like,
Okay.
I think we've all dreamed, in our group, a lot of us have dreamed about being a
Being
wrestler.
a female wrestler, yeah.
Yeah. Female wrestler for the WWE. But no, being in the WWE, becoming a wrestler, and I thought the movie was really good.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be fun to be part of that thing, and it ties in our whole podcast together.
Yeah, it does, for
Belt-
sure.
belts.
Movies, belts. Yeah, all of it.
I think there was
So,
drinking in it too.
I'm
so
sure. Hell yeah. And if
sure
there,
there was
if
some
there
bourbon.
wasn't, there was going to be.
What
Yeah,
about you?
dude, that's fucking awesome. I went, and honestly, you probably could have picked this, where I'm going to go with this as well, because I would have definitely guessed you would have said Scream.
Yeah.
And I feel like you could probably guess that I'm going to say Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
But I'm going to throw you with this, okay? Because I knew you would probably be like, yeah, obvious. You're going to say you want to be in the world of Harry Potter, obviously.
Who wouldn't?
But the character arc that I'm going, which is funny because it's actually kind of in the same vein as what you said with Scream. So this is what I wrote. I want to be a former detective turned professor at Hogwarts
Okay.
who is secretly evil, with the ability to steal young wizards' power and potential through murder,
I like it.
while leading an investigation into who is doing it.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah, I've given this a little bit of thought before.
You better coin that right now, copyrighted.
But yeah,
submit it for a story.
I've always, I mean, I fucking played the Harry Potter game. I don't even remember what it was called, but anyways, it was something Hogwarts or whatever. But like where you kind of create your character.
Hogwarts Legacy, is that what it's called?
Maybe, yeah. It's the one that just came out like a year, 2 years ago or whatever. And like they don't have Quidditch in it, but you have like you can fly on the broomstick, and you have like that's like the whole fucking open map, open world, all of it. Like I played that game, and like the whole time I was just like, God, I just want to Avada Kedavra some motherfuckers. And like there's this like I have an evil side in me when I'm playing that game. Like I just want to fucking kill motherfuckers. And I was just like, yeah. So when I thought of this question, I was like, oh, this is my moment. I can actually flip. Because I think that would be because there's always something with one of the teachers in each of the movies. It's like one of the teachers is the bad guy, like, right? So I was like, this fully plays into the same line, but there's nothing along that line,
dude,
where like none of the teachers, not none, I guess that did happen once or twice, but for the most part, like to have an actual like serial killer kind of spree happening would be a new fold, and that has nothing to do with Voldemort.
True.
You know, it's like that could be a whole new fucking era of Harry Potter type stuff.
8 movies.
Yeah. Where it's like, but it's like, I almost said, but I thought that would almost be too on the nose, but I thought like former detective turned headmaster would almost be even better, because then you're supposed to be like the most trustworthy motherfucker. But you're actually the one that's like murdering young, powerful wizards before they have actually like fully discovered their potential to then you get. It's almost like, never mind. I'm not gonna say that because I don't want to spoil anything. But we'll talk about it off the show. But yeah, so there is something that's kind of somewhat similar to that we've talked about recently. But yeah. Anyways,
love it, man.
Yeah, man.
That was good. Those are good questions. I like it.
Thanks, man. I figured I was like, I think you would come up with the last couple. So I was like, I gotta fucking pull my weight here. I gotta do some good shit. So yeah, man.
Cool.
Well, fuck, dude. We got episode 22 in the bag. Crown Jewel might be on right now, so I won't be watching it till tomorrow because I got stuff going on today. But
sounds good to me,
yeah, man. We'll talk about it.
Let's fucking go.